Walk us through the call. How long until we get that dollar short trade back on?
Well, potentially not very long of a wait. Our view is still quite bearish on the broad dollar outlook, both from a cyclical standpoint and from a structural standpoint. You have a quite expensive currency, low rates in the U.S., and you have a recovering global economy. So the cyclical outlook we still think is still pretty bearish. And then structurally, you could add other concerning things like the widening current account deficit, China's financial reopening, things along those lines that could weigh on the dollar over the longer term. What we're trying to do with our trade recommendations is give investors the best expression to try to extract value out of that thesis over time. We've thought that until recently, that's been dollar shorts versus the G10 commodity currencies like Canada and Australia, for example. Looking ahead, I think the thesis really pivots around Europe now. The thing that we think is underpriced, underappreciated by investors is the prospects for European economies to perform quite well over the coming few months, and that could be supportive of the euro. So taking a step back to reevaluate best expressions, maintaining a medium-term bearish dollar thesis, and we'll likely be very focused on potential for European upside for further recommendations over the coming weeks.
Does that mean, Zach, that the issues with the vaccine we've seen in Europe have already been priced in, or that we're looking kind of a delayed recovery, not an absent recovery?
We think that the concerns are just overblown, in general. I think there is a bit of a misunderstanding on how Europe's COVID situation looks at the moment. The pace of vaccinations is picking up already. We're looking for a major acceleration in both April and May in the pace of vaccinations. And we think lockdowns will also control the COVID situation in continental Europe. So I would say that the downside risk due to the COVID and vaccination issues are probably overpriced at this point. If we get our baseline forecast, we think that markets will start to price in a fairly rapid recovery in the euro area.